Paula Vennells seems to have behaved badly. She says she's not going to speak until she gets called at the inquiry, and I suppose she can hide behind that facade of propriety. But it doesn't look good for her. But I don't think she is the only predator, the only problem in the post office scandal. There are audio recordings now of her talking in June 2013 and being told directly that the Horizon system is unsafe. And yet she went on to assure Joe Swinson, who was the MP in charge of the post office, responsible for the post office in 2016, that everything was safe. So Joe Swinson is now saying vigorously that she was misled. She was duped. She was lied to by Paula Vennells. That's quite strong stuff. Paula Vennells is now accused of misleading the government, and that's after the ITV News obtained the letter from March 2015, which shows that Vennells claimed there was no evidence sub-postmasters had been wrongfully convicted. The evidence was there 2 years earlier. So Vennells ran the post office between 2012 and 2019, and the then post office minister, Joe Swinson, was told the post office has found no reason to conclude that any prosecution was unsafe. And, you know, this is despite being told in 2014 by the law firm that it had found 26 cases that were unsound. And yet in the same letter to Joe Swinson, Vennells says no evidence has been found through these investigations of any system-wide issues with Horizon. But that is untrue. And the audio recording apparently demonstrates the depth of that deceit. And so this is a recording that was obtained again by ITV from December 2013, where the Post Office General Counsel Chris Ayod, who was the most senior lawyer at the time, is told by the independent investigators that the evidence was unsafe and that there were wrongful convictions of sub-postmasters who had been pressed into making guilty pleas, and they were denied the opportunity to defend themselves because they didn't have the evidence. So the evidence was kept from them. There are three recordings, all of which it seems Paula Vennells was party to, and yet she assured Joe Swinson that nothing was wrong. Now, of course, Joe Swinson is a fool if she accepts the word of somebody like Paula Vennells, when there's so much evidence already building up. By that time, all you have to do is leaf through the back issues of Private Eye. And the Liberal Democrat leader, Ed Davey, will be giving evidence in the post office inquiry in July. But I was there yesterday. I was there. And it's a pantomime. It's, Alan Bates gives a solid and assured performance. And he takes us through very carefully the 23 years of a campaign in which he was also vilified and told that, he was stripped of his job because the post office claimed he wasn't up to it. It's extraordinary. I use that term again in a pointed way. It's extraordinary that somebody who now demonstrates that he is worthy of top honours should be dismissed by the post office, who then gleefully report the fact that they found him to be not up to the job. simply because he wasn't prepared to bow down and capitulate to their bullying. Well, they've taken on the wrong man here. And I think it's not just the extremely valuable and prescient ITV drama about the post office which has done this. It's also Alan Bates' calm manner and remarkable dignity. When I went into the room yesterday, and it's little more than just an office room, you would think that the government would hire something of value to hold a public inquiry in. No. They've got a top floor of some second-rate WeWork office complex that they've hired out. And it's got all the pillars in. You don't see the pillars when you see the television footage. But it's almost impossible to see through, and yet the one person who stands out, and he didn't have a spotlight on him, the one person who stands out in that setting is Alan Bates. And he stands out for his stillness, his composure, and his honesty. Congratulations.